here with Johnny Al
How are
Halabi,
you, Jesse?
director of The Realist Estate. How are you?
Good, bro. How are you?
Now, for those of you that don't know, well, most of you wouldn't know, but Johnny and I have had a interesting relationship over the last few years.
It has been interesting,
Probably,
to say the least.
to say the least, probably the biggest impact on me, I reckon, for people that don't know me, for people that do know me well, they probably don't realize how close we actually are and how much you've actually taught me and helped me over the last few years. So yeah, I'm actually pumped having you here.
I've loved watching you grow, man.
You're a legend.
It's it's so good to see, like in real life.
Yeah.
Because you hear about these stories, but then you see it. It's so good to see you kicking ass, man. It's so good.
Well, so the first time we actually met, I was in Keeler East. I was getting ready to rent.
Yeah.
When I first met you, I was back. Did you know that? Like, could you see that?
I could see it because I reckon we battle in similar ways, but it was nice. It was like...
We did get along straight off the bat. What was it Stephanie? Who was the property manager? Steph?
Nah, it was the other girl. Yeah.
Anyway, I remember you came and you were friends with my cousin and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that led into an Airbnb disaster. That was funny. So long story short, I rented my property out. Johnny's told me this guy's fantastic. I then go on Google. I decide to search this bloke. No. He sent me one person. I searched the bloke. He had gun charges and methamphetamine charges.
He's like, bro, Google his name.
Google his name. So we said no to him. Then we went to this other bloke, and we find out that he's Airbnb my house he's Airbnb my house.
Yeah.
But yeah, that led to a working relationship and a friendship and yeah. So tell me a little bit about you. Like I know I've said this previously, but I love these conversations because you talk to people so much, but you never really get past that surface level.
Yeah.
Even with people that you're close to, you kind of get to a point.
Yeah, it's so true.
Tell me a bit about how you actually got into real estate and what your working journey is, because you got every license under the sun. So tell us about that.
Yeah, I have, and I feel like it's been a journey, man. Like every time I've gone to get another qualification or another license, similar to yourself, it's always been like, for me, I've always seen myself as a problem solver. So, fuck, you can't do it. Fuck, I'll work it out, you know? And that mentality probably got us this far, but I feel like sometimes, because you said trauma before, and I feel like sometimes that comes from being however you were when you grow up. When you grow, everyone's got trauma. I feel like you heal from your trauma and you get better. But, you know, now dialing in, I see, like today, I'm a real estate agent, but obviously, you know, growing up has been a journey, and it's been like my dad used to always say to me, life is the school. Like that's where you learn everything. Yeah. And for me, man, I thank God every day, but I'm so lucky that I had people like you around me, and for me, my life started not when I was, you know, my working life didn't start when I was 18 or 20. I remember when I was a kid, and I've always had good people around me and good relationships, and I feel like as a man that I am today, that's been important in shaping, you know, what you end up becoming and how you end up helping the world. Yeah. So yeah, a bit about me. I have been in property for all my life. That's the poison that I choose. But yeah, we've got an agency that we run these days, and I still see myself as just I always tell you, a young dumb cunts from Coburg, because we still are young dumb cunts from Coburg.
I think that's what keeps you like thinking about yourself like that. I know we use that terminology, but it's almost like don't take yourself too seriously. You're always learning. Yeah. Yeah,
man. 100%. It's the biggest thing. Learning is in life, and I know you love to push yourself too, because we have these talks all the time. But in life, you're either learning or you're not. Yeah. You know, you're expanding your horizons or you're not. Yeah. You know, even when you travel, you're learning about something new, and I think that helps you on your journey. Yeah. Every day, piece by piece, bit by bit. Yeah. Yeah.
So you grew up in Coburg.
Yeah.
You're basically a concrete statue in Coburg. So tell me about, like, so your dad was in politics and markets,
Yeah.
and how you got into building and property.
Yeah, so I grew up so I've been in Pascoe Vale, lived in Pascoe Vale. Everyone thinks I'm from Coburg because,
Oh, you're a Pascoe Vale guy.
yeah. Well, our office is in Coburg. My dad owns the Coburg market, so
Yeah.
growing up, I used to auction off watermelons and rock melons. And, seeing everything now in real time, it is humbling in itself.
Yeah.
Like, when you say your humble beginnings, they're my humble beginnings. And for me, today we just, we sell a different product. But my dad was always, he had the fruit shop, he had all the Italian competitors, and he was so competitive. And I remember we had all the mafia and all that. Yeah, it was just the scene. And I remember Dad and my uncle Tony in the market, and they were just and they're ex-soldiers as well, so their mind is, the way it can only work. But
Yeah.
watching that journey and, today seeing my dad, even after that, my dad would go to the market. So he started off with one stall, and he was the mayor as well, the deputy mayor, and served on the council. He's a part of all these, whatever community. He's just involved. He loves to help. He loves to, because that's what he's come from. He's come from a place where, Australia is fuck. There's so much opportunity, man,
Yeah.
and there's so many people that need help and that don't know. For my dad anyway, he used to think, fuck, this is how you can do this, or this is how you can do that. It was always a problem solver, and that's probably where I get that from. So we grew up in Pascoe Vale, and then the Coburg market. I was there. I remember when I was 7, 8 years old. I used to go with my dad to the market. The wholesaler back in the day was in Footscray, and now it's in Epping. But we used to go there 2:30 in the morning to get up early. And my dad would continue his night into the council chambers, and
Constantly working.
Yeah, constantly working. So growing up in Coburg and having that upbringing that we had was, for me, it was something that taught me life.
Yeah.
The way I know it today.
Yeah.
And it's easier today. Not that it's easier, but you heal from trauma. And I think growing up, that was the expectation. My dad was a soldier, was an ex-soldier. He was the mayor. He was business, this, that. It was always, and so for me, that was the benchmark was already set.
Yeah.
So even in school, I skipped the year level. I was always I'd come home 98% on the test. My dad would be like, "Where's the other 2%?" Fucking calm down.
You skipped. What year did you skip?
I skipped I did year 7, and last semester of year 7 I did year 8, and then next year I went to year 9.
Really?
Yeah.
So how old were you when you were in year 9?
I was year 9. I was probably about 14.
Oh,
I
no way.
reckon.
So how old were you when you finished year 12 then?
I finished year 12 at 17. I studied my bachelor's degree. I was 17. I was 20 when I qualified as an accountant. So I
Wow.
finished my bachelor's degree, and then I worked in Parliament for a while. I worked in a bit of treasury. I worked in a bit of an electoral officer, sort of political role.
Yeah.
So I was an accountant. I did all that stuff with politics. I got very involved in politics at student level.
Yeah.
I was running the well, they're not so popular now, but the Labour right faction of La Trobe University, and we ran for elections, and I turned the whole school, largest campus in the whole Southern Hemisphere, and I turned it from a left wing campus to a right wing campus, the Lebo.
The negotiator.
The negotiator.
Master negotiator.
But it was good. It was good, bro. It was again, it's what I've always known to do. Just get in and try, give it a crack.
So what school did you go to?
I studied at Antonine College.
Okay, and then so you finished school.
Yeah.
And at that stage, you were doing you were going uni accountant, doing the Brainiac stuff.
The Brainiac stuff. No one in my family had been to uni. I was the first, and my dad wasn't gonna let me off without uni. It was either that or I'd go back to running 2 o'clock in the morning, go and get fruit for people.
And did you I know my dad being a cleaner, he used to do the graveyard shift. Did he always?
Yeah.
Was it always throwing? Oh, you can come work with
You
me.
can come
if
work
you
with
want.
me, yeah.
Oh, you can go to sleep, or you can get up at 1 a.m. and come with me.
Yeah. And they used to always paint a picture in our head I didn't have a choice. This is what
Yeah.
And so, you know, and yeah, like the same story. Like your dad was the cleaner, it was the graveyard shift, and it was something that was frowned upon. So
It's
we had
funny.
to be
So
better.
for me, I feel like my internal disciplinary system is
Yeah.
guilt.
Yeah.
I've said this before to people. I operate on guilt. So
Yeah.
I don't go to the gym because I'm motivated to be fit. I go to the gym because if I don't go, I feel like shit and I
Yeah.
can't deal with that guilt.
Feeling.
And sometimes I wonder, like, when I was growing up, my dad would be like, you know, do you want to do this?
Yeah.
And that ultimatum type thing would make me feel guilty.
Yeah, 100%.
And I wonder if like that's actually something that's stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I actually don't think it's a bad thing. I just think it's so strong that like I physically, like there's times where I'll look at, there'll be something on the ground, let's just say something simple to clean up, and I'm like tired, I get in bed.
Pick it up.
As soon as I lay back, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I know I have to get
You
up.
can't rest.
I can't rest.
Yeah.
That it just seeps
Guilt.
into me.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Do you think that's from, like you said, your dad growing up? Do you think that that's a trauma that maybe pushes you forward these days, helps you?
I think there's like a balancing act, right? We've spoken about this previously to kind of go in a different direction, but to answer your question, you're an accountant. So your parents were born in Lebanon.
My dad was born in Lebanon. Mum was born in Australia.
Okay.
And dad came over here in 89.
So you're essentially, a first generation Australian.
Yeah.
So there's already an element of, challenges that we kind of dealt with growing up, and we were already in the easy phase, but there were still challenges that were a little bit different to us.
100%.
So we have that. Then you have that working class mentality.
Yeah.
Then you have, the fact that our parents worked so hard to give us the opportunity, and their parents worked so hard to give us the opportunity that you automatically naturally grab all these guilt feelings, right?
Correct, 100%.
And there's a period of time where you lose your way, and I
Yeah.
think like you can't connect the dots.
Yeah.
Why my dad's too mean? He's too hard on me.
Yeah.
What am I doing? And all this
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it feels like one morning you wake up and it kind of, I don't know, it just does make sense.
Yeah,
and you
clicks.
kind of go, I like that part about me.
100%.
you know?
100%. And you're proud of that part because it's what makes you you.
Yeah.
And I feel like in the time that I've known you, I say this even about you to people, like I click with you because I can respect that because I am that as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it might be trauma from with your parents or whether it's my parents. Like my dad, like literally they fled the war. So, what excuse did I have?
Yeah.
There was no excuse. My dad always maybe guilt tripped me, but now I like used to think, fuck, why is he doing that? Or fucking kind of a thing. But like now you get it. And that day for me clicked. I mean, I don't know if it was a day, but I feel like it clicks more and more every day. And I feel like that's a part of understanding life and your purpose and
100%.
why you do what you do. And
You're not young for very long. Like if you think about it, right, you don't really know what you're just kind of operating as a kid until you're, let's say, 13, and then you go to high school.
Yeah.
And you're in high school, and now you start getting exposed to things that you wouldn't, and you have that first step of growing up.
correct.
From year 7 to year 12, like you're kind of still in school, and you don't really have any expectations on you outside of, the basic, go to school, do well at school, whatever.
Yeah.
Then from, let's say, there to 27, you're still young. From 27 until hopefully you're 100, you're old in a lot of ways. Like you become mature, you're expected. So I think because when you're at that 30 to 40 age and there's so much, you get that you're actually finally at an age where you have perspective, you've lived, you
Spot
can,
on.
and then I think we think in smaller numbers. Like I was talking to someone about AI.
Yeah.
And they were saying, and I was talking to someone yesterday, and they were telling me how AI is going to take over, and there's so much change and all this stuff, and how the way of life's changed. But I mean, in reality, it's only been it feels like there's so much change because there's been a lot of change within one kind of one generation.
Yeah.
So we can remember the old and the new.
Correct.
So then now, like, I feel like when you're 30, it's the same concept. Like you now can remember a different time, and you can remember now, and there's time in the middle.
Correct.
So it's maturity, and it just,
Spot on, 100%. And you think as well on that notion, like I used to always say to myself that I don't want to be the typical adult. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so now I look at myself and like, fuck, I'm not becoming that adult. Like I'm
Yeah.
still the big kid now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but the reality is we're going through the changes that maybe our parents went through in their generation. But I do think that AI, for whatever reason, is moving quickly. Like there's,
Yeah.
and maybe again, our parents said that about the generation before them. You know, in perspective, we'll find out one day. But I think the reality is that, like AI, for example, is changing the world quickly, so quickly. I don't think there's, in terms of like, you know, I look at a lot of numbers and investments in terms of parking your money somewhere. And, you know, I'm a property guy, so yeah, maybe you can do some projects that are ludicrous sometimes in that pinnacle development space, but you could also make some great investments in AI, I reckon, where,
Of course.
where you'll see, you know, the world's gonna be a different place next year and the year after.
But don't you think about it like, if we talk about from the business perspective, we think about AI and investment and opportunity and stuff. I'll go back. I went to a restaurant,
Yeah.
Japanese restaurant. Love this restaurant. Used to go there all the time.
Yeah.
Went there one night and there was a robot bringing me my food.
Yeah.
And before, if you had told me that before, I would have said, "Oh, that's awesome. How cool is that? It's like a robot, like the whole fad of it."
Yeah.
I'm sitting in there paying a lot of money for dinner.
Yeah.
And I started saying, "I don't want a robot bringing my food."
Yeah, of course.
So, you know, there's also the level of how the world adapts to it. How do we connect it into our lives? And then how does, we're still going to become a consumer of AI.
Yeah.
How do we start to, you know, how does the population actually leverage it and use it? And it's still just a tool. So I don't think that's I think for me, I'm not sold on the application of AI into our world.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's like a drill bit that we plug in and we put on our wrist.
Yeah.
Or if it's everyone loses their job.
Yeah.
Like everyone seems to be thinking and AI comes in. Because I'm sure there was an element of that with the internet, wasn't there?
There was, bro. Yeah, there was. And the internet, if you think about, the internet was one of them. The turn of the millennium.
Yeah, that was one.
Was one. GFC, like there's always been it. And I feel like every single time, again, this is from my investment perspective, but I feel like every single time it's just, they're changing the tools maybe. I don't know how to put it, but like if you think about AI a year ago only, I remember when I first started using ChatGPT, maybe you were in the office and it was like, fuck, man.
Yeah,
and then like next week,
I
heard about someone else that knows about ChatGPT. And then, you know, even Bitcoin, bro. Bitcoin, we bought it back in the day.
Yeah, I know. So did we.
There were so many things you could buy with Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin. Beep.
Yeah. $9 we'd pay for Bitcoins.
Yeah.
And one of my friends would be like, you know, he was like the smart one in our group, and he's like, "Fucking keep some of these coins, boys." Like
World of
it's the
Warcraft, you had to buy.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, we used to go to the Commonwealth Bank in Coburg, bro.
And you had it?
And yeah, well, we just go in, no driver's license, no ID, nothing. You just literally, you go in over the counter, you put some cash into an IP address,
And they'd give it to you.
and then that goes up onto the,
Wow.
and then you access Tor, and then you go on all these websites.
But see, that's the thing. Like, if we start talking about investing, everyone keeps thinking they missed the boat. It drives me. There's no such thing.
Yeah.
It's just you got to jump off that boat and get on the other one. And
Yeah.
you've got to pivot. Like if we look back,
Yes.
we've got Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You know, COVID. People
Yeah.
look at COVID as a negative. People
Yeah.
got minted during COVID.
Yeah, man.
Property, like real
100%.
estate agents was you were all selling property from boats.
Yeah, bro.
You didn't even have a run and open.
Yeah.
So there was money. There was you know, people moved to Queensland. That whole the whole Perth market and all this stuff all went bananas over COVID. So there's always opportunity in terms of investing, but I think it goes back to what we were saying before, is that it's always just like a moment of time.
Yeah.
And I think one thing you've taught me is like you don't force things. Like you put yourself out there.
Yeah.
I'm buying a barbershop.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Johnny? You're buying a barbershop? Yeah, I bought a barbershop. Why? Cause, bro, it's cheap. And you're not worrying about.
I love how
You don't think too far. And I know that can sound. I'm not trying to say it's blasé, and not at
Yeah.
all. It's just you're just always trying,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
you're just like you enjoy. I think I see you as someone that enjoys that part of it.
Trauma, bro.
Trauma. But I feel like you enjoy the game.
I do. I love it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. And I'm grateful for the game, and I'm grateful that like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
perspective as
Yeah.
well. You just said something about pivot. like I said to you just now, I want to be the big kid. I don't want to be the adult. I want to be, you know, because when you're a big kid, you can pivot. You just drop things quickly and pick things up.
Yeah.
Nothing really hangs on to you
Yeah.
for too long. Like
Yeah.
it's just, you know, and in this world, you need to be, in today's modern society and since COVID, you need to be able to pivot. You need to be able to be robust, maybe. You need to be able to, you know, drop this tool and pick up that tool.
100%.
Um,
But I think that's what we do, though. We have this sense of, like I did when before I met you,
Yeah.
I labeled myself as a tradie.
I remember. Yeah.
And I felt that put me in a bucket
yeah.
because we're thinking in such small time frames. You're not
Yeah.
thinking, all right, I just do an apprenticeship today. I'll be qualified in 4 years.
Yeah.
Or 4 years seems like, yeah, but I need the money now.
100%.
I need results now.
100%.
And I think as our generation particularly, we lost patience. We lost like the patience to trust. My parents were buying a house in 1994 and thinking about 2025.
Yes.
People were working in the same business, in the same job for 30, 40 years.
Yes.
Unheard of today.
Yeah, 100%.
Unheard of. Doesn't matter if that company's unbelievable to you. They're
Yeah.
just, I need to change.
100%.
Yeah.
It's the world we live in.
Yeah.
People are like our parents. I mean, yeah, hindsight is a wonderful thing. But like our parents, when I tell my dad, he says, my mum even says to me, like, why do you, I don't know what you are. You're an accountant or are you a builder?
Yeah.
Or you worry me, you know, like, I don't know. You're going to end up broke or you're going to, and you're the same. Because I remember when you were doing electrical and then you had your label.
Yeah.
And then you had like all these different things and you were into your sport and then you did well at your sport and then you were into, you know what I mean? Like you could pick it up and drop it off and pick it up and drop it off. And it doesn't, like you love that. It's what made you, I think,
Yeah.
drive and move forward. And it's not for everyone. I feel like I said, my mum came to me and she always still comes to me today and says like, I worry about you. The other day I put up a TikTok video thing that I do on the reel and she's like, Mum, she's like, she's probably going to see this, but she's like, Mum, you know, don't drive with you're
On
holding
the
because I was holding the microphone instead
yeah.
of pinning it. And she's like, don't hold it, you know, the police can give you a fine.
Yeah.
And like, you know, she's my
They
mum,
just
she's
worry about
protecting
that.
me.
Yeah, yeah.
She's worried. And like, you're moving too fast, slow down. And that's our parents, how it's going to be. But I mean, yeah, going back to the world, people don't know how to stop and stay at a job for 40 years anymore. Delayed gratification doesn't exist, bro. Like, we're on apps now that you just fucking, whatever, you swipe left or you swipe right and you know, like, it's always moving. And I feel like, sometimes I feel like the fact that I'm flexible, for me anyway, or that I've been able to be flexible, is a currency in today's world.
100%.
Like, you can just drop.
But it's both. Like you can, if you have a little bit of the patience,
Yeah.
and then you take on like me, like, you know, I like doing a million different things.
Yeah.
But the difference that the biggest change that I've made in terms of those different things that makes it manageable today is I have an idea and then I sleep on it. And it's just something that's simple.
Spot on. I'm the same.
Because before it was just, how many business ideas have we had? My God.
We made $4 billion in
$4
one
million
night. Yeah, it's true, bro, because when you say both, I agree. I learned that as well. Like, you have to still have that push, but you also have to think, fuck, I want to learn from the burnout
Correct.
that I had last time.
Yeah.
And that's what makes you wise.
Yeah.
You know? Jesse Morano.
So let's go back. So you leave uni, you do accounting, you're in
Yeah.
Parliament, whatever that. I can't even imagine you in that part of your life.
Canberra.
What hairstyle did you have then?
Bro, I had...
I need to visualize. What did you run?
I had hair, bro, believe it or not.
What was it? Fringe or?
No, it was, I had the mullet going.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah, I love to fix my hair every day. And
Yeah.
now I can't be fucked. It's all gone anyway.
Yeah. Tell me about it. So you leave that, and then now you're a builder. You're in real estate.
Yeah.
You're an accountant.
Yeah.
You're whatever else there is.
Yeah.
How did you? Did you map that out as a change, or was it just a natural progression that you kind of got to where you are now?
Fuck, that's a good question. To be honest with you, bro, I till today am still working out what it is that the answer is. But I can tell you something: my intentions are always good.
Yeah.
So everything I do with the right intentions, and then I still find myself today in rooms where I'm like, I used to pray to be in these sort of rooms. So I literally, like, I've got family, I've got a wife and kids, and everything I do in my life is for my family. So we grew up with those family values, and today, like, my dad worked 8 days a week for the family, and for me today, I'd rather work 8 hours a week
Yeah.
for the family,
Yeah.
and be with the family. You know what I mean? So, like,
So they're always anchored in those. That's an anchoring point for your business.
yeah, it is because my business right now sort of still revolves around Johnny.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I'm fortunate, and, you know, like, I've got my developments and stuff that I do. And for me, like, those at the moment, like, we're doing things that we honestly, I'm always grateful to God, but these are things that I used to always just think about and dream about. Like, I used to always wish to have my siblings with me in this property business that we're doing this. And I didn't know how that worked logistically.
Yeah.
And I used to always tell my wife this. Even when I was young, man, I used to cry, not knowing, because my mom, you know, what are you? You're an accountant? I don't know what you are. My mom would tell me. And then my dad would be like, fuck, you know.
Yeah.
So again, it's that pressure that I remember sitting down with Natalie once and, like, not knowing. I used to always say to her, like, when I'm in the future, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that I'm getting out of I'm dressed good. I've got this bag in my hand. I'm getting out of my car and I'm jumping in my jet. And I'm just, like, productive, but also not busy.
Yeah.
Like my dad was busy.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Because my dad would have worked 8 days a week if there was 8 days. And I learned as a kid that, like I said, today, he worked for us, but, you know, and God give him a long life and give him good health, but we don't need what he's built for us because we've...
Yeah. 100%. I know that.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and even till today, I love making him proud because it was always never good enough. It was always push harder, and I still love to push harder and show him that I can do things.
Yeah.
And he still gets fascinated, like, you know, and it's interesting. Sometimes, last time he said to me, this was recently, he goes to me, what I love about you is that, and what I didn't do, and obviously he's older now, but he's like, I love that you just pick up and go. You just take your family, you pick up and you go.
You go.
And for me, that broke my heart because he didn't get to do that, and he sacrificed a lot. And so that's why I say, what excuse do I have?
Yeah.
And like right now, we're in property. Yeah, we've done some things. We still do things together, business wise. And I'm still, you know, we've got an agency. We build homes and we do all sorts of shit. But I mean, for me, fundamentally, where am I and where am I going? I still feel like I'm still growing. I'm still learning things every day, man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, and again, you just put yourself out there. It's
Yeah.
the same dumb cunt from Coburg. It's just...
So when you say that, you think that, like, when the transition from Parliament into becoming a builder, into developments, into starting a real estate agency, they were just you pivoting.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just lucky that, and I say this with, like, I'm grateful to God for the life I've had, but like, growing up, my dad was a builder. So, like, my dad had the businesses, and then he was in politics, and then he was in, then he got into development and property. So, you know, and my dad used to say to me, like, I would have bought a house every week if your mum wasn't, you know, and, you know, and then, like, I look at him now and I think to myself, what excuse do I have, man?
Yeah.
He came here with $500. His shoes, he used to tie up his shoes in a plastic bag because he couldn't afford new ones, and they'd get on the back of his cousin's bike. They'd go to Ford. Like, what excuse do I have? I've got no excuse, man. We're so lucky. That we get to pivot.
Yeah.
I see it as I'm so lucky. I'm grateful that I get to pivot.
Yeah.
And perspective's important, man. In this world where there's so much information,
Yeah.
and people are just lost in their own minds, perspective and the way you see the world is
100%.
so important.
And I do know what you mean when you say, yeah, you know, mum being worried about doing different things. And I
Yeah.
think one thing that I'm not good at is I vocalize too many of my
Ideas,
thoughts.
yeah,
And even if I'm like, you know, I'm having a meltdown with my business, which happens frequently,
yeah,
I might vocalize that.
yeah.
And then the people around me, they don't deal with problems like that.
No.
So then they hear that and they're like, oh my God.
Worried,
what the
yeah.
hell? And then I walk in 10 minutes later and I'm fine.
Yeah.
Aren't we closing the business? No. Don't worry about that. And I think I need to, like, get better at that. But
Yeah.
sometimes when I was,
And you
especially when
will.
I was around my mum and, like, when I was with mum and dad living at home or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm starting this. And my dad would just You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't even acknowledge it. He just looks at me like, "What the hell are you? Like, what are you doing?" Freaks him out. And at the start, when it freaked him out, it used to freak me out.
Yeah.
And I couldn't.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, "Don't worry about it, Dad.
Yeah,
It'll be fine."
yeah.
It'll be fine.
Even that, bro. Like now we're at an age where, like, I used to look at my dad as well and think, "Fuck, if he freaks out, then I'm like, fuck, why is he?" You know, because
Yeah.
he's like he's leading the train. He's the one driving the train. And now, I feel like, and your dad's probably at a similar age where they've just let it go.
Yeah.
Jesse's all right.
But it's not that much time. Like, I remember my dad's 63. Let's just say
Same.
63.
Same.
39. My mom's 65. He's 63. What does that make him? 37.
He's 63.
63.
Yeah, born in 63, same as my dad.
So when I lost my train of thought. My dad's 63. What was I going to say?
No, you were saying, we were talking about how it's like now at this age they're letting go, but you're sort of.
So I remember my dad's 40th.
Yeah.
I actually remember my dad's 40th.
Yeah.
So my parents, we've got a beautiful family home that my dad built by himself, like
Yeah.
actually by himself over
Yeah.
10, 15 years. You've been there.
Beautiful home.
Before that, it was me, my brother, my mum, my dad in a 2-bedroom apartment
Yeah,
in Tullamarine, just not far from where we are.
yeah,
And my auntie and uncle, my mum's twin sister, lived just beneath us.
Yeah.
And we used to just kind of
yeah.
hang out with each other.
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember my dad's 40th in that apartment.
Wow.
And let's say that's 23 years ago. It's like, when you actually think about it, it's like when you get older, you forget that your parents are like, I know it sounds weird, but they're people too.
Yeah, they're
like,
getting older.
Yeah, he was just a 40-year-old
Yeah,
with
now-
kids.
now
and
he's
like,
63.
you know, you're mid-30s or whatever with kids.
Yeah.
But this is just
Exactly where
life.
he was. Yeah,
and
it's
I think
life.
you get to an age where they transition from parents to people in a
Yeah,
weird way, or
yeah,
friends,
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you want to call it.
I
And
agree.
you see their emotions, and you see that they were just trying their best. And,
Yes.
and then you start to put them on a pedestal, and you're like, holy shit, like, how did he do that?
Yeah, yeah, exactly right, man.
Like, how did he actually, when I started hearing he built the house by himself for 11
yeah,
years,
Yeah,
and I actually think about it.
yeah. It sounds like a scene out of the Bible, man. I swear to God.
It does.
Like,
It
wow,
does.
what a bloke.
He's doing cleaning in the middle of the night. He used to sleep on site
Yeah,
sometimes.
just to get it done.
Just to get it done. And, you know, part of it is, you know, part of it you envy. And, you know, so part of it you idolize, and then part of it you get upset about because you're
Yeah.
like, you know, why don't you spend more time with us? And,
Yeah,
I wish I had this, wish I had that. But then you also ground yourself in, well, like, it's pretty, you know, it's a pretty privileged position to even have that opinion.
100%, bro.
You know.
100%.
But
We're
then,
so lucky.
then when you're in the real estate, you've got you, your sister, your brother-in-law. It's like it's a full family,
It is,
full
man.
family business.
It's the way I've always wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's there. My siblings are, like, for us, family is important. So,
Yeah.
you know, growing up, I always thought, I know I'm going to look after myself. I've got no issue looking after myself, but I've got to also look after my family in a way.
Yeah.
And that's how my dad was. My dad was always the breadwinner, but he always looked after his family, like us, the kids, his wife, but also the family like our extended family, my cousins, aunties, uncles. Like, that was for us a big thing, to be able to sit down and eat together and drink together. And
Is your dad like the glue, or would you say your dad's the guy that he's the one that brings everyone together?
yeah, my dad is the glue, in the sense that he not so much brings everyone together, but more so runs for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, won't let down family. There's loyalty. There's,
Yeah.
you know, and he expects the same.
Yeah.
And when I say he expects the same, it's because of the way, not that he's entitled to the same, but that's the way he's been raised, in a village where all you have is each other. Like,
Yeah.
I do this, you do that. Let's go.
Yeah.
We protect each other. We help. You know what I mean? Like, it's the
100%.
village mentality. So, and I still see a lot of that in me today. You know, in the way I think about my family and having them around me in the business. But, you know, and for me, like, at business and family, we do mix. We mix it
100%.
together. We talk about business at the dinner table.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the way we were raised. At our dinner table, it was always the politicians, or it was
What's going on with this? Opinions.
100%.
So when you, like, now looking back and you kind of put that all together,
Yeah.
and then we actually go into talking a little bit about business, property, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you know, because hear your opinions and views on things.
Yeah.
How do you feel like your life has impacted, you know, your actual perception on building and business and finance and stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, these days, bro, I see, like I said, the pinnacle for me is my family and making sure that they're good, and they are good. And for me, I see my position in society. Like I find myself I'm very fortunate. I'm so lucky that I get to be where I am right now. I'm so lucky. And that's the way I see it. So like I'm lucky to be able to help you or like for me, it's a privilege to be able to do that. And it's a privilege that people trust me.
Yeah.
And I think that right now in my life, I enjoy what I do, but I enjoy helping people. And I know it's in real estate, but a lot of it comes down to the same sort of goals that people have, that I have.
Yeah.
And real estate's just the vehicle. So I'm fortunate that I've got whatever the experience, the upbringing, the knowledge, the fucking whatever, the degrees, and I see it as that. And like even recently, I was saying this to my wife the other day. I started, and I think I told you last week, maybe I can't remember, but I feel like I told you this, but I started doing these videos online.
Yeah.
And so with my development business, I've been trying to sort of structure that a bit better and start to get more funding, because I think I've explained to you my model and how it just needs a few investors and it can work really well. And now that's starting to happen. So like last week I had that $500,000 investment come on board, and it was like, I haven't taken it on board, but these people wouldn't be coming to me, 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever. So you got to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And I feel like right now I'm so lucky that I'm in a position where I get to help. I actually get to help change people's lives, whether it be via development and what we do with wealth creation or whatever, or just selling their home and helping them move on to the next thing, or whatever, build their dream home, whatever it is that helps them, or even if it's just something as simple as a conversation and a coffee.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everyone is different. Everyone needs a different part of what I can offer. And I'm just so lucky to be able to offer it to them, and they take it on board.
So if that's your thought process, like, and you're so big on like emotional and personal connection.
Yeah.
If we go back to AI.
Yeah.
How do you, like, what's your, like, because I've got an opinion in my head, but I want to hear, like, how do you, as someone that's from that perspective, how do you see AI working into the real estate industry?
I feel like the AI that we can see at the moment will allow agents, and again, agents will become a commodity. So you will be an agent that writes $500,000 a year in commissions. You're going to be an agent that can write $5 million a year in commissions with the AI, but they still want Jesse. They still want to see. They want to deal with Jesse. They love the connection. Jesse's just such a good fucking human.
Yeah.
And AI is just like the extra hands and legs that Jesse's going to be able to have now to do more things and to become a $5 million agent. So, yeah, I think the personal connection is important, and it's still got to be there. And AI will just be an attachment to another tool to help you get things done. Like, I'm using it, and again, everything that's happening that I'm telling you about in my life, we're using a lot of AI. You're
automating it?
We're automating a lot of things that we can automate. We've systemized so many things in our businesses recently, and as sad as it is, it's almost like if a staff member came up to me and said, I want a pay rise, and they can't do that because I give them so much resources, and like we offer them, we're paying them 5 days a week, but they can work from fucking wherever they want for 1 day a week, and the job's done. So I'm sure in the next few months we're probably it's gone. Like there's nothing left for them to do. You know what I mean? So and so the only thing you have is you as a personality.
Yeah.
I always say they can systemize everything but my brain and what I have here, My wife's not going to get half of it if she leaves me. She-
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
I'll rebuild
It's gotta be
everything.
prompted.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
And that's the thing. Like, I feel like the more creative you are with the tool, the better that the tool is. And that's
Yes.
with everything.
Yes.
Like, learn how to ride a motorbike and
Yeah.
learn how to ride a motorbike.
Yeah.
Like, you get more out of the machine if you know how to use the machine.
Correct.
And it
Correct.
plugs in to what we're doing.
Yeah.
But when I think about it, I think like I start to kind of think, all right, there's always going to be that personal connection is always going to be important.
Mm.
I know that I'm not like, I don't know if I've got some type of attention disorder.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if I do, it's at a very high level.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I reckon.
We've both probably got some type. Pretty much the whole population has it, let's be serious.
Yeah.
But I don't enjoy doing the mundane repetitive tasks.
yeah.
I find them harder to do than the high octane type of stuff.
Yeah.
So AI will put me in the clearest possible mental state to actually be helpful.
Yeah, 100%.
And I know like people like myself will get a lot out of that.
100%.
The problem is actually you still got to prompt it. You still got to engage the
Yeah.
AI specialist. You've still
Yeah.
got to get the systems. And it's not like,
Give it the instructions.
yeah, you don't just call the Claude and say, hey, Claude, yeah, just come sort it out and hang up. You
Yeah.
got to tell them the problem, give them the information,
Yeah.
connect them into the business. And it's a constant effort to stay on top of that. And if you don't do it, you're going to fall behind. But I think it's starting to already I'm starting to notice that the people are going to shine are the personalities.
100%, man.
Like, and you know, like
100%.
I'm drawn to people that have a story.
Yeah.
Like, I love it.
Yeah,
I love hearing
100%.
someone tell me some wild banana
Yeah,
storyline.
yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
love it. It's
yeah,
great.
yeah. It's what makes life, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if we're walking down this path, we're going to walk down the same path, but fuck, my story can be so much better than yours, or your story can be so much better than mine.
Yeah.
Because I want it to be.
Yeah.
And I think in what we do, and I know you're very much the same, we don't do anything that's orthodox. Everything I do is fucking unorthodox.
Yeah.
My wife's orthodox. She's married right now. I told her we're unorthodox. Like we do things, not that we like to break the rules, but it has to excite you, man. It has to be the next level up. It has to be.
I feel like it's like a layered level of success. Like, I'm financially driven,
Yeah.
but the finances
It
are
is
the
a layered
trophy.
level. Yeah. Yeah.
And then
yeah.
it layers down. And I
Yeah.
like, if I really look at it, like, I'd rather, there's certain things that are non-negotiable, like having a good working environment, being
Yeah.
able to, I don't like being on site all the time.
Yeah.
I love visiting site in small doses, and I
Yeah.
love being around the team, but I prefer to provide an environment for them to be
Yeah.
happy rather than actually being in the environment myself.
100%.
And like, there's things that I layer that are important to me, and then I've built around that rather than build around the finance, and then the finance seems to
Flowing.
trail.
Yeah. And see that what you just said is that's trauma that you have worked out now. Like, for example, I'm the same. Like, I'm a builder, I'm a this, I'm a that, but I don't actively do that every day.
Yeah.
I drove past one of my sites on the way here, and I was tempted to get down and crack the fucking concrete on there. I'm like, no, let's keep driving.
Just keep driving.
Yeah. So that's a trauma that maybe my dad instilled in me, that fear. So the fact that you can build now, you're lucky to have the luxury to be able to build a business around you that works for you.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to be on site every day. You do better setting up the environment for these guys that maybe want that, you know,
Yeah.
and they excel in that environment. And you do what you do. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's amazing that you can, I feel like it's amazing that you can see the world that way and create this business that employs people now and
Yeah.
whatever. It's got its own arms and legs.
Yeah. And I think that's recognizing what's important. And I think sometimes, like, you meet people that have got, like, pumping out money through their business that's financially awesome, but they get to a point where they're still looking for something. They're still looking for something else.
Yeah.
And it might be because their business was so successful and it might have happened so quickly that it's just, they get on this like gravy train.
Yeah.
They don't get that opportunity to say, hold on, like, am I a good person?
Yeah.
Am I spending time with my family? And asking those questions. And then there's always a void. And like, the void might be, for some people it's money. But I think in my life, I've gone from having it to not having it. And I've had this bike and that bike and no car and nice cars and new cars and old cars. And
it doesn't matter for
I've
you.
tried this and I've tried that. And people go, oh, you just pick up and sell things. Like, you get no emotional connection to possessions. I find that as like a superpower.
Yeah, man.
Like, you know, like
Fuck
if I go on, I've always said, like, if I go on a holiday tomorrow, and we go to Mykonos and we drop 100 G's in a month.
Yeah.
That 100 grand, I can't get that back.
Yeah.
I can't sell the photos.
The memories.
I can sell my watch. I can sell my car.
Yeah.
And it's like an indirect way that I kind of try to get that fulfillment out of like spending money, but I also do it in like a fake way where it's like I'm spending it, but I'm not. Like it's still in my pocket. Because I can't actually let go because I know that my life is so volatile that I like to keep things that I can pick up and get rid of that, and that can protect me from the next decision. And does that? It's like a self-defense mechanism.
100%.
I think. And
it's still there.
It's still there. Like I I've got I always say like if I need to sell it, I'll sell it.
Yeah.
And it's nothing is in my back of my mind. Everything can be for sale, but it's not for sale unless I need it. If I see the next opportunity, oh, you want to send your kid to this private school? It's a $50,000 sign-on fee. All right, sell the Harley.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
100%.
That's kind of how I somehow connect the dots in my head.
100%.
But instead of trying to determine why I connect the dots that way or worrying about whether that's the right or the wrong thing, I just know that that's how it is, and then I just do that.
100%.
You know what I mean?
And that's a part as well, bro. Growing up, maybe that was your way of survival. Like you knew that you could, and I'm the same, huh? Like I know that I don't get attached to.
Yeah.
Growing up, we didn't have material things. Like people see material things now, but we never had Christmas. We didn't have Christmas. Like my dad was working, and we never saw like gifts and fucking, you know what I mean? Like it was church, but then it was just come home, have dinner.
It wasn't like that type of,
no way. And like my kids now growing up, fuck, imagine they had my dad. They'd be, you know, like.
But do you look at that now and like, do you try to implement change from that? So that was something that you felt was something that you didn't connect with positively?
No, I didn't, but it made me who I am.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I feel like with my kids, maybe I can give them something different, but at the same time, I don't want to take away from my kids as well what I have in me, which is what that taught me.
Correct.
And for me, growing up, you know, like the hard days, I loved the hard days. Like I just want to get stronger to be able to deal with more of the hard days. That's how I see myself. I don't not want the hard days. I don't want to give my kids everything.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be like my dad used to say, oh, I worked for you guys, but I don't want to do that for my kids. I want to instill in them the knowledge, the faith, the virtue, the respect, just make them come out to be good human beings, bro.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And then they'll work the rest out.
Yeah.
If you've done that part well, I think the rest sort of works itself up. Because like for me, I'm the same. Like I love to travel. I love to go out there and now spend and enjoy and whatever. But back in the day, it wasn't necessarily like that.
Yeah.
At all. And that's what made me what I am today. So now the fact that my kids get to enjoy whatever they get to enjoy, I think to myself, all right, well, I'm taking away maybe from them that discipline that I had. So then how do I give them that discipline?
Yeah.
How do I, maybe we do things. Like I'm going to enroll the kids now into martial arts. I did, I'm a black belt.
Yeah, you are a black belt.
Yeah. So for them, that might be a sense of having that, because you need that as a human navigating through this life. You need to have that discipline to be able to not just give up every time the world smacks you in the head. So, if you've got to sell a Harley to fund your kid's school, I'm ready for it. Like,
but that's the thing. Like to me, it's like the little nest egg that like is always there.
Yeah.
It gives me this sense of security knowing that I can enjoy myself.
Yeah.
Whilst
still
having it in the saving account.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's funny because my dad's like an antique collector.
Yeah.
You know that.
He's got a mad collection.
He's got like phones and we'll need another podcast to talk about that. I have no interest in that.
Yeah.
He used to hate it. Like, look at this phone. It's from fucking Antarctica. Like it was Santa Claus's phone. Oh yeah, mad. Awesome. It's 300 million years old. Couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Couldn't care less.
Yeah.
I found it like interesting. But like, I'm not sitting there like, helping him put them together.
Yeah.
But then now, like, if you think about it, isn't it the same? Like, I still have that. Like, I'm still like kind of indirectly, I'm buying possessions, not because I'm like emotionally attached, because I feel like there's value in holding them.
Correct.
If I hold a car if I buy like a $50,000 Harley and I own it for 10 years and I sell it for $40,000,
nothing.
It's $10,000 of enjoyment.
Yeah.
As long as that $40,000 isn't like, I'm not one of those people that's going to invest in multiple things. I invest in myself and I back my ability to earn income. That's kind of what I enjoy. I'm not going to, if that becomes a hindrance, that's gone tomorrow. If I
yeah.
need that 40 grand to do anything that I think is going to better my family's life, that's gone tomorrow. But it's there.
Yeah.
But if it's a 40 grand holiday every year, that's just pouring it down the drain.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's just my you know,
100%.
my opinion.
100%.
So when we actually talk about like property investment and building,
Yeah.
you coming from an accounting and political background, we've often spoken, gives you like that commercial, I guess, perspective on property.
Yeah.
And mine's more, my dad does the home renovation and
Yeah.
we're the emotional
Yeah.
PPR type
Yeah.
builders.
Yeah.
And we often like talk about this together and how we see things differently with this whole budget and stuff. We need to talk about this. You need to break down what's going on because
We're fucked.
my ADD means I watch your video and I'm like, I don't understand him, but it sounds scary. Like, that's essentially what I do. No, I have an opinion, but I want you to tell me what you're thinking.
Oh, it's so funny, bro. I bumped into someone this morning and he's like, I'm just scrolling through TikTok. He's like, you were on Instagram, now you're on fucking TikTok. He's like, I'm just scrolling through TikTok and it knows what I like and it gives me what I like. And then I see your head. He's like, and then I see your head, bro. And then I don't know what the fuck you're saying, but I shit myself.
You had a red make real estate great again hat on before. I was dying.
The budget, huh? The budget is fucking...
I don't really do this, but I don't know if you've seen, I posted a story the other day.
Yeah.
I was just frustrated.
Yeah.
I was just like, they're just kicking us. I feel like they're just kicking us in the guts.
They are, man.
But then at the same time, we just spoke about how you get presented problems and you move on.
Yeah.
I posted that story and I was like, well, that's the new tax reform.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Yeah, 100%.
Stop?
No, you're not going to stop. And that's the thing. No one's going to stop. But we're getting fucked.
Bad.
We're literally, bro, we're getting fucked. And you know, since COVID, how loud I've been about how fucked we're getting. So, and I don't know where the fuck this video is going to end up, but if you want it as it is, like, they're fucking us. They're fucking us, bro. This budget, and I said this even about a month ago, I don't know if it was to you or someone else, I was saying they're coming for super next, and then fucking bang. SMSF the other day. There's no more lending. Like, it's just fucked. It's fucked. It's... So, you know, you being the primary home or the primary place of residence specialist, you might be in big business soon, because I think when people realize what the fuck's going on, everyone's going to be selling their investments. Everyone is going to be selling their investments. And even in what I do, I buy and sell real estate, but I don't hold real estate really. Like I hold the we own our office, we own our home, we own our blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And we've got a few like good properties, blue chip, but even they're becoming like, it's fucked, bro. Bro, I was talking to my dad the other day. He owns a property. It's worth over $10 million and it's paid off. And he's sitting there telling me he can't afford the land tax. Like, not that he can't afford it, but fuck, I've never heard my dad talk
beyond.
on this.
It gets past.
Yeah.
It starts to. But I think what happens as well, I think getting kicked in the guts.
Yeah.
Makes that money feel like a theft.
Yeah,
it's not like, because it's all, like we said, it's all glass half full type mentality.
Yeah.
And I've seen some people that I follow speak about, all right, you know, what is it?
SMSF, yeah.
SMSF.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to buy, you know, residential property, but you can still buy
commercial property.
Property,
which is
right?
great, yeah.
I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, but I'm saying people are going to pivot.
Yeah, of
right?
course
And they're going to find the next wave and whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's more what I think the community that I'm around, that we're around in property, it just feels like you're just kicking us in the guts. And I think
100%.
that makes you stop to really see clearly, and you start to see big picture. And when you see big picture and you see all the reform, you see the cost of money, you see the value of property, the cost of building, you look at all the changes, you look at now this widow tax and like all the way that the government's positioning itself, you start to just feel attacked.
100%.
And then it takes that away from you. And then
100%.
your dad's like, oh, do I need this anymore?
Yeah.
But isn't that what they want?
100%. And I'm talking to you. My dad's an extreme. My dad's, like I said to you, soldier from war.
Yeah.
Doesn't give up. And I know he's older now, but for me to see him saying like, fuck, sell it, or fuck, he still doesn't say something. My mom says sell it, but he's just like trying to hold it all together. And I can see inside that he's, you know, whatever, he's pushing along. He's a soldier.
Yeah.
But the reality is, bro, that it'll be one thing after the next. It will be one thing after the next. So, like right now, for example, I know a lot of, in my real estate business, I know a lot of investors that wouldn't usually sell real estate. They're now selling. They're pressing the exit button and they're getting out.
So then, so that's what the government wants, right?
Well, they tell you, Jesse, they actually say to you, look this up, bro. Don't take my words for it. I'm maybe just some dumb conspiracy theorist from Coburg. But
Pascal
Pascal, sorry. But they say this to you. They want you, the World Economic Forum, get together every year. They sit down twice a year. They sit down and they say to you, they want you to live in a world where you own nothing and you're happy. Imagine living in a world where you own nothing and you're happy. Well, we're getting to it. I don't know. So, like, you know, whatever. And I did my thesis on this last year when I did my master's degree. My research topic, and you know this, I think I've told you before, my research topic was the effects of the COVID levy, which is this new land tax, the effects of the COVID levy on existing affordable rental housing in Victoria. Bro, the people that are renting are the ones that are being affected the most. Don't, like, I only made 100 grand this year, I only made 4 million this year, these people are paying they're getting paid wages and their fucking rent is a tax. This exorbitant rent, the rent increases are fucking ludicrous. It's not sustainable, bro.
Yeah.
I did 120 pages of research. I interviewed some big private property guys in the area. I've interviewed all sorts of people. And my conclusion was that as well, the government is going to own all residential properties.
Well, Build Vic is going mental with purchasing.
They are.
I know for a fact that Build Vic are buying value, like a lot of assets.
Yeah, bro.
So
regional.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So if you, let's say if you have, if you really think about it from the perspective that we've been given, and the perspective is that we need to make it more opportunities for first home buyers essentially to enter the market. Why would you want them to enter a broken market? Like, what's the benefit of a child? Like, let's say someone wants to buy their first home, and it's the majority of investments throughout inner north where we are 1-2 bedroom villas, apartments, units, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you've got a villa apartment unit that's been negatively geared, which creates the opportunity to at least one day have it as a positive yielding asset.
Correct.
And now you sell that, and then young Kathy walks in with her 5% deposit, doesn't pay stamp duty, pays $400,000 for that property, is now paying 6 or 7% interest on that property, is not going to pay it down over the 30 years because there's no positive nothing. She's just living it, and she just gets to tick the box and tell her family that she owns a family home.
Yeah.
How are you helping the next generation by creating that opportunity?
Well, that's what they say they want to do, but then what are they actually doing?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if that's really the argument, it doesn't make sense.
They're not. It doesn't make sense. Look, from a theoretical and from a scholar's perspective, I did my fucking thesis on it. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Look, as a developer, bro, I'm making a killing. Like, I'm selling brand new properties.
Yeah.
So next year, fuck, man, I've got so many brand new properties to sell.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna make a lot of money, but that's not what it's about. It's about the everyday fucking Aussie, like the everyday person that is. We live in a country, like, I'm proud to be in this country. I'm proud that my parents came here and, you know, they immigrated for a better life. I'm proud. Like, in my country, you get run over if you're crossing the road, like, if you don't be careful. I'm proud of everything that we've built, but lately it just feels like it's a big fucking kick in the guts, man.
100%.
Like, people aren't doing this. And like I said, I do this because I love helping, and for me it's a big why, and I keep doing it. But as a developer, I don't give a fuck. The budget's good for me.
Yeah.
But for everyday Aussies that don't really understand what this budget means to them, it is fucked.
Yeah.
It's absolutely. They're even backtracking now on what they were saying, and now they're adding all these fucking clauses and like, I don't see, and that's why we're seeing the rise of, like, Pauline Hanson, and it's the protest vote. People don't want this side or that side because they realize it's the same side.
So just go whoever else.
Just fuck you. I'm going here, and you know what I mean, like.
It's not
People are
healthy.
frustrated. No, it's not. And when you have an economy that doesn't get rewarded for being, like, as an entrepreneur in Australia, you can't, as a government, be punishing entrepreneurship. You can't.
No.
People that are going out there, you're renovating homes to sell to these, like, we're encouraging GDP growth. We're moving the economy. You can't be punishing these people.
Correct.
If you only do that in socialist society, man.
When you start talking about, I was saying the other day, like I pay every property we purchase and sell, there's stamp duty.
Yeah.
Every property there's income, there's GST on the margin,
Yeah.
there's tax, and
Yeah.
there's all these different layers. What's my taxable income? Like where
Yeah.
am I at, man? Like 75%.
Yeah, bro.
And
Yeah.
and you start to again. This is what I was saying. When you zoom out, it actually is overwhelming.
It is.
Because you know, as in the building industry, and this is why we've started the project advisory in the
Yeah.
sense of doing building consulting and buyers advocacy, is because if you make a poor decision in today's market,
Yeah.
like that's it.
You're fucked.
Yeah. And you've got to have the right people in your corner.
Yeah, man.
And then when you start to see, again, you take another step out, when it's hard, everyone's gone from, I can't earn 100 grand a year. I can't do that. I need more.
Yeah.
So then you have, I'm going to be a buyer's agent.
Yeah.
You've got no skills, never been in
Yeah.
real estate, but I see opportunity, I'm just going for it. And then
Yeah.
that person's advising them, and then they make a bad decision.
Yeah.
So it's like the more rules the more red tape and the more rules, and the building industry is the king of the red
Yeah,
tape.
100%.
The more red tape, the more rules. You create a rule, you create 10 rules.
Yes.
It's like, oh, we do everything on the iPad. We've spoken about this analogy. I do everything
Yeah.
on paper. I invoice on paper.
Yeah.
Great. The only problem I can have is I run out of paper, or my pen doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or I can't spell.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I can't do math.
Yeah.
They're my problems.
Yeah.
You go, I'm going to iPad. Great. Now you need to pay for the software. Then you need to pay for the app
Yeah.
subscription. Then when the app has a bug, you're in a problem. Then you got to have an admin officer to make sure the reconciliation is done properly. And so you solve one problem, yeah, but you create 10.
Correct.
And this is what we're doing. We're creating rules on legislation and red tape.
Correct.
And it's just become, we're all drowning.
Correct. 100%. And that is the answer to your own question.
Yeah.
The conclusion is that the system is broken.
Yeah.
And they're trying to take some, like, when I say the system's broken, I mean that the debt is never going to get smaller.
Yeah.
So all these budgets that they put in place and all this money that they throw at us, bro, JobKeeper, JobSeeker, COVID, you know, how many agencies closed down? You know, there was a rule where you had to get JobSeeker, you had to go you had to earn less for 3 months, and then all your staff qualify for, like, so many people ordered that.
Yeah.
That caused inflation.
Yeah.
You know, there was all this money being printed and distributed to people. There was no GDP growth. We weren't exporting or importing anything. There was nothing happening. And they were just printing money and putting it in your account and printing money. And then milk went from $3 for a carton of milk to $5 for a carton of milk to $7 for a carton of milk. Money's lost value. Money has lost value, brother. The system has broken. And yeah, we've created a business, and I guess it has come from all of this. But the reality is, you do need to either be an expert today, or you need to have an expert in your corner, because one bad decision can cost you. It can cost you fucking big time, man.
100% it can.
It can cost you big time. Like we say, building consultants. Yeah, you need a building consultant. You do need a building consultant, because the fact is that a lot of these builders that people are hiring are going broke, or are trying to take shortcuts because of all the red tape, like you just said.
Yeah.
And so it's affecting the client. You do need an extra set of eyes. Yes, you do.
100%. And I see that on the what's his name, the inspector guy?
Zahir, TikTok.
Yeah, what the TikTok inspector.
yeah.
Like I love his videos. I think that what he does is great. And actually, as a builder, I think you learn a lot.
Yeah,
if
you
you
do.
watch it, you learn a lot.
You
and
do.
that one element that they don't speak about is the financial pressure that the builder is under.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not excusing cutting corners, and I'm not
Yeah.
excusing that, but it's not as easy as, like, people that aren't builders think that, you know, you're getting paid to do the build.
Yeah.
There might be like time disruptions. There's increased mid-contract, and
Yeah.
the variations you're limited to. You can
Yeah.
only take a certain deposit.
100%.
There's so many layers that impact the builder's ability to build. If we
Yeah.
could if we could make it easier for the builder,
Yeah.
I'm sure the builders are a lot better quality in Australia than what we actually say. Everyone just
Yeah.
says every builder's fucked. They're not all fucked.
No, they're not.
They're dealing with an enormous
Pressure.
amount of pressure.
Yeah.
Of,
Yeah, I
you know,
agree.
this book says this, but it gets
Yeah.
superseded by this book, and this
Correct.
book gets superseded by this book.
Correct.
There's
Red
not even
tape.
red
Yeah,
tape, and there's
yeah.
not even clear,
Yeah.
not even a clear rule book.
Yeah.
And you speak to the roof plumber, and the roof
Yeah.
plumber goes, "Yeah, but I follow Reg 7," and then
Yeah.
he goes, "Oh, well, yeah, but I don't like doing it like
Yeah,
that."
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
So there are layers.
100% there is.
You know,
Look, on the way driving here, like I said to you, I just settled on a property last week, straight away demolished it, got into the construction. You know, me being me, I think I told you I demolished before we settled, and the truck was there and whatever. Then today, last night, I spoke to the bank who's about to pay the builder, who's us, their first invoice, and we've got a building permit. there's no warranty insurance because the owner is the builder, and the building surveyor was fine with that. The VBA was fine with that. Everyone to get to the bank now, they want fucking insurance. That's another 30 grand
They just want the
that
insurance.
I'm just going to pay now and then sting the next. Like,
Yeah.
what for? What for? I wrote him no, I didn't just bend over, bro. I wrote him a fucking nice email. I'll check my emails later and see if they've responded. But like, that's exactly what you're saying. Like, the red tape it's like exorbitant. Like, where does it end? When do we say enough is enough? How much? Like, I know there's other places in the world where housing doesn't cost as much as Australia. Why? Because there's not as much red tape.
Mm-hmm.
So you do need, like, these days, navigating through this economy, navigating through this climate, you do need to be an expert, you know. And we do this every day, so obviously we're prone to everything that's happening. But if you're a lay person and you're looking to build or you're looking to buy, you do need a vet. Like, there's things you do need to do. It's not like the old days, and the economy that we've created today asks for this.
100%.
You look at America. In America, buyers agents are a normal thing. Selling agents deal with buyers agents, and the client, like the buyer and the seller, don't get involved. The selling agent deals with the buying agent. The exchange is done, and it's done. That's it. There's nothing else. It's normal.
It's just normal. Yeah.
It's just normal. And so, you know, with all the red tape around building these days, it's only normal that you're not expected to really understand what the fuck's going on.
No, 100%.
I'm as experienced as I am. I sometimes look at I think, what the fuck? Like, this bank guy, he pissed me off yesterday. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, let me speak. I've got fucking put me onto your manager. I don't want to talk to you. Like,
Correct.
And then, you know, the manager was whatever halfway. So I wrote him an email, and then, like, it's just that decision there, or that's 30 grand.
But even on a base level, like I was speaking, we've got apprentices, and I've got told that a mature age apprentice, well, we know that a mature age apprentice now gets paid a fourth year rate for the entirety of their apprenticeship. Right?
Yeah.
Rules like this are, you know, it's great because now there's going to be mature people that go into trades, and we need tradespeople and all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
But what about the employer? Like,
Yeah.
why would I,
Employ.
it makes it extremely hard to pay a guy who doesn't know what he's
Anything.
doing. Just because he's a mature, he might be a bit more level-headed. I got to pay him
Yeah.
fourth. These are all these pressures that they're
Yeah.
just constantly putting on us.
Yeah.
When I was in China recently, in Hong Kong, and we went through a bit of China, there is construction everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it's bananas. Like,
Yeah.
and it goes. It feels like you catch the train one day this way, and you come back and it's done.
Yeah. It literally is done.
And
yeah.
it made me realize, like, there's two ways of looking at it. You've got these, you know, countries like this where low minimum wage, there's the quality of life is on average is probably a lot less than lower than it is in Australia, and they've got their own set of problems. But from a economical perspective, they can build quickly. The cost of buildings, the infrastructure that China's booming, right? And then you come to Australia, and we've gone down the politically correct, everybody gets a participation medal place.
Yeah.
And it's great. Like, it feels great, and it's happy and healthy, and everyone's safe and all those types of things. But then at the same time, it's like, that hasn't been linked to patriotism.
Nah, 100%.
It hasn't been linked to, like, we love Australia.
Yeah.
It hasn't been linked to
Nothing.
that
Yeah.
that actually creates that feel-good environment. It's actually it feels like we're in a negatively geared mentality.
Yeah.
And it's like having like, you should, in trying to make a happy, equal environment, it shouldn't create negativity.
Nah.
So that means it's kind of being in a way counterproductive.
Correct. And they're giving us the pill to swallow.
Yeah.
But that pill, like anything, fuck, bro, if it, and this goes back to what I said before, the system is broken. Like, people, I'm talking to a lot of people that are going to Dubai, and they're fucking, you know, I don't want to go to Dubai. Like, fucking, I got my family here. I got everything's here. So, like, when you say it's hard in the sense that the rules are changing. The rules have changed. And you can't just be the fossil that knew the rules. The things are changing. The way the system works is changing. The way the game works is changing. And, like, it's important that and I know that I'm good at being flexible, but it's important that every single person that wants to take advantage of, because there's always opportunity. You know, there's always somewhere where there's opportunity, and you need to be able to take advantage of that opportunity. I feel like literally, bro, I go to sleep, I wake up the next day, and I feel like I'll read something and something new's happened.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, man,
Under
how
your- just
quickly. Yeah.
Like that. Just, oh.
Yeah. Then there's a new rule. Then there's another fucking tobacco shop got burnt down. And then there's, you know what I mean? Like the news, we never used to hear about crime in Melbourne. Now,
We did.
well, not,
It's just different. I think crime's always been the same.
yeah.
Crime's always been prevalent.
Yeah.
But I think it's just, it feels different. It doesn't feel like, I don't feel unsafe in
It
Melbourne.
does feel different.
I don't feel unsafe in Melbourne.
I don't feel unsafe personally, but I feel like a lot of people psychologically feel unsafe. Yeah.
I feel, no, but that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't say like that. I don't feel like the crime rate is making me feel like, ooh, like that.
Yeah.
But I think what it is making me feel like is collectively, I feel oppression.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's
Yeah.
this black cloud over Melbourne.
Yes.
So like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's, we can only really speak from Victoria, but it feels like a black cloud. That's the only way I know how to explain it.
I know what you mean. I am flying out to a war zone in about a week or two.
Where you
I'm
go?
going to Lebanon.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, fuck, isn't there a war there? I'll go there and I'll feel safer than Melbourne. I swear to God.
Is it just because of the freedom?
The freedom, the lack of red tape, the governments don't work. Everything's broken. It's great.
Have you been watching the World Cup?
Nah, to be honest, nah.
Do you watch footy?
Yeah,
AFL?
yeah.
So I believe that the AFL it's a government, or it's essentially it's owned by the Australian government or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So I look at the AFL as the perfect mirror representation of, well, not a mirror, but the perfect representation of the Australian economy, Australian way of life, or the Australian government, right? The AFL is over umpired,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's the rules change every year.
Yeah.
We have AFL has the most rule changes that you could ever think of.
Yeah,
It's almost a
yeah.
different game every year.
Yeah.
They have concussions and they get taken to there's lawsuits around the CTE effects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So to protect themselves, bang, just new rules. They've now introduced limits on contact at training. So can just
Bullshit.
Yeah, so they're bubble, layer. And it actually, if you really think about it, it's exactly like the way that they,
100%.
right? It's not privately owned. There's no opportunity for investors to buy the Collingwood Football Club and Collingwoods have their own football ground, and we build up the stars and we create
Very controlled.
We don't create hostility. It's extremely controlled. It's literally like it is at every single corner. There's something going on. You give the finger to the crowd, you get suspended.
Yeah.
There's no personality. There's
Yeah.
no problems, right?
No.
You look at you watch the World Cup,
Yeah.
and automatically you see they're
Different.
yelling at the
Yeah,
umpires.
yeah.
They're
Cultures
saying,
come out.
right now,
Yeah.
for me, the sporting arena is a cauldron. It's an opportunity where you separate yourself from
Let it
everyday
go,
life.
yeah.
You separate yourself.
Yeah.
You want that combativeness. You want that aggression.
Yeah.
Like you want to scream and yell, and then that's your break from the real world.
Yeah.
You watch the World Cup. They're yelling at the spectator. The ball goes out here. They just throw the ball in for a meter that way.
Yeah,
the free
it
kicks
doesn't
here.
matter.
They just put the ball down there.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
in the AFL. It's
Here's
a
here.
meter back,
Yeah.
30 seconds. You
Yeah.
moved your foot 50
Yeah.
meters.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if this is what I feel like we live in. I
Yes.
feel like we live in this
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh mate, you're in 3 minutes over. It's $180 fine.
Yeah.
This is a no standing. Or
Yeah.
it just creates this like, it's this false sense of freedom.
Yeah, it is false. It's 100%.
It's a false sense of freedom, and I think
it is.
I think for people that want to use their creative side of their brain,
It's hard.
it's hard.
Bro, the thing is, all this stuff, all this fear, it really comes down to your, and I'm just going to say this as blunt as I sound, the nervous system needs to relax. Your central nervous system was not made to be in stress mode all the time.
Yeah.
Go, fight or flight. In Lebanon, my kids don't wear a seatbelt. Like, you know how much they love it?
But that would make you an irresponsible parent, Johnny.
Bro, my son's hanging out of the sunroof.
But don't you I remember that stuff when I was a kid, as if like it was.
There's nothing. Yeah, we used to have the old XF and the LTD, the long wheelbase,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
old
yeah.
Ford. And we'd have like, the seats were this big. So we'd put like 5 of us in the back. And
Yeah.
then there was the column shift and you had the seat in the middle and
But that stuff was like on TV commercials.
Yeah, man.
That was
yeah,
like-
Yeah, whereas now it's a lot more controlled. People don't feel happy.
But what was the argument when you think from the government's perspective back to COVID? It was
Safety.
it was the public health system. So
Yeah.
let's impose a Medicare, let's impose all these safety measures and government doctorate, whatever, bulk billing, and then we'll use it against them in a place of crisis to say they're going to put pressure on that.
Correct.
If that's not there, ride without a helmet.
Correct. Yeah.
Ride your Harley without a helmet.
Exactly right.
There's none.
Exactly.
There's that. But it's hard to. I feel like it's like how do we argue? How do you argue our opinion from where we sit when it's constantly like, yeah, but for the health, for the world health, you're that politically correct
Yeah.
position makes it
Yeah.
really hard.
Because the thing is, and that's a good point, but the thing is, this is why I say, like, and for me, property is where I've been, but you need to be responsible for your own life. You can't wait for the government to give you Medicare. Get fit, bro.
Yeah.
Go to a fucking gym. Go run. Don't get diabetes. Like, I'm not saying you can control whether you get diabetes or not, but in a sense, everyone depends on the government. Everyone depends on them to feed them. Everyone depends on them for work. COVID came, stay home, we'll pay you.
Yeah.
So I think when you think of how Aussies are, that's why we have tall poppy syndrome. People are happy for you to do well until you're doing better than them.
Correct. Yeah.
And then you're a drug dealer, you're a fucking... So when you think about the culture that we're creating by like even the government, they no longer are incentivizing investment with this budget. Like if you've got a few properties and that's frowned upon.
They don't want you to have a few.
You know what? I'll go fucking sell the properties and go sit in fucking housing commission.
Were they charging? Like, they're the people in Brunswick where there was vacant property and the people would painting them and did you see all that?
Nah.
They would protest at the front.
Nah.
There was an Instagram page where there was a few in Brunswick and stuff like that, Fitzroy or whatever. They were vacant, like old homes where they weren't being rented. They were just sitting there, and these people would go there and protest and like say how that's like.
Yeah, but how much red tape do you want to put? The cunt wants to rent it to you. Nonno's got a house in Fitzroy.
Their argument is like, that like this type of like this capitalist mentality where you just own all these properties and then you're the one that's making it too hard for them to buy in there.
As in, so the people that are protesting don't have a house.
So they're arguing that the guy that owns 40 properties and he's
Yeah.
got the rent, puts the rent up and stuff,
Yeah.
it's him. It's his fault.
Well, why is it his fault? The cunt's worked hard all his life. He's got 40 properties. Now the government wants him to put all this rent. The government put the interest rates up. The government it's not him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I closed my building company in COVID. Because I could see, my accounting brain said to me, and this is why I think builders need to have like an accounting fucking money background, some sort of don't go broke fucking,
Scheme,
inflate the life jacket. Okay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because not that I know how to smack a hammer or fucking use a drill, but you're creating, it's a recipe for a disaster. And I didn't want to be in the middle of that. I didn't want my carpenters to go from $400 a day to $800 a day. And then I got to be, to tell my client fixed price, I'm charging you $600. In 6 months' time, I got to charge you $800. I'll charge you a cost plus contract because I don't want to rip you off. I don't want to.
Complete disaster.
You know what I mean? Because if you got a fixed price, you got to rip them off. If you do a cost plus to try and look after them, well, then the bank won't give them the loan because they want a fixed price. The bank wants you to shaft them. Like, you can't blame the landlord. You can't protest and say, why isn't this guy, he's got 40 properties, why can't we rent them? Why can't we buy them? Well, mate, like the same thing is if you go to Dramana, the Mornington Peninsula, how many, like I was talking to Nono the other day and he's like, oh, I've got a house and I want to sell it now because, it's paid off. He paid $35K for it. But now it's waterfront. And he was telling me it was like 10 extra grand to buy waterfront. So he bought waterfront back in the day. But now it's worth like $3 million. The land tax he's paying every year, it's paid off. So he's finished from that problem. And then now he's paying like close to $30K a year land tax on that property.
Why 30K?
I don't know. He's got a few other properties, but like it's
Should only be like, isn't it?
Well, land value, it's 1,000 square meters opposite the beach.
Yeah, okay.
Land value puts him in that bracket where and then he's got a few other properties, I'm assuming.
I got a, last year we got a $77,000 land tax bill.
Land tax bill, yeah.
And you know why? Because I had a whole bunch of properties settle on the 29th of December.
Fuck.
I think 31st of December.
It's the cutoff.
I didn't know how it was worked. I thought it was how long you held the property. I didn't realize it was just at the cutoff. It was just what you hold at 31st.
Yeah.
And because we normally never hold property over Christmas, I'd never been exposed to that.
Yeah.
And we held 20 something properties at that time.
But imagine you held them, like imagine you weren't selling them and you held them. You got to pay that every year.
100%. And imagine if you're not in a position like you're not in a position where you don't have 77,000. Like your rent, you're up to the gills on your finance. Like,
Yeah.
where do you get 77 from?
And so now tell these protesters, imagine you did that and you had the 77 that you paid land tax, plus you had 6% on the debt and you 80% leveraged your portfolio.
Yeah.
And you've got the rates that are continuing to go up, and you've got they're just slugging you everywhere. The budget now.
But see, that's why I've never wanted to connect myself with people investing. I don't like the word investing.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's like, I like the idea of pay off your home.
Yeah.
Invest in your ability to, as a person, travel, educate,
Yeah.
create an opportunity to be a valued person as an employee
Yeah.
or as a director of a company. If you can earn a really good salary and you can have your assets paid off,
Good.
minimize getting caught up in all this stuff.
Jargon,
That's
yeah.
kind of how I've always looked
Yep,
at it.
yeah.
You know, there's always the guy that has 77 million properties all across
Yeah.
Australia, and
Yeah.
I'm not. There's always plenty of ways to generate
Yeah.
wealth, but for me, that, like we said earlier, wealth comes in many different.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm someone that's come from a property background. Like I said to you, I don't hold anything. I
Yeah.
just would do my thing, make my money, pay my tax,
Yeah,
and then find my way
Move
to go and enjoy my kids.
yeah.
And that time there that I have with my kids, they can't tax it yet, you know? So
Well,
that's coming.
I can't see, but if they go PPR, if they do anything to the PPR, our parents' generation is, and we're going to cop it.
100%. I don't think they'll touch the PPR.
Surely they can't.
Well, I think it's political suicide if they
Yeah.
touch the PPR. I don't think they'll touch the PPR, but I think they'll touch everything up to the PPR. They're going to go so deep. They're going to come for shares. They're going to come for SMSF, which they've already started this last week. The property market, they've all over that. So, like I said, you need to have that knowledge. You almost need to, and you need to be up to date with that knowledge.
Oh,
need to
you do.
update your software every day because there's so much new shit coming out. I had a meeting. I've had a phone call this morning with an accountant that I deal with all the time, and he's been watching my videos, and he's like, we're talking back and forth about what we think about where things are going, and literally from the discussions we had, the conclusion I had, and he's seeing this with his clients too, you need to almost be a fucking accountant or a fucking, just to understand what the fuck's going on and how does it affect me. I don't want to step here and go into the puddle. I want to navigate and be able to get to the, because it's so foggy.
100%.
There's so much shit. But anyway, that's life.
It is, but I think where I feel like you and I add value in this space is because I think we've had a crack at all those things,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think that's where people need to. They need to understand that it's expensive to learn.
It is expensive.
It is expensive to learn.
Yeah.
Like I've blown a lot of money trying to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
and every mistake I've made, like someone might call me and say, "Hey man, like how do you normally waterproof this?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
it's an answer I can give you today.
It's an answer I can give you today, but like, you know,
Cost
like
me a lot of fucking money.
that cost me a lot of money, and the rules change every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah.
you know when you buy, how do you do your feasibility? How do you
Yeah.
know what to buy and how much to sell for?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I get caught in this position where I'd love to help, but I'm
Yeah.
also starting to feel like, hold on a second, like
yeah.
I want to make sure that I'm okay. I don't know. That sounds a bit.
Yeah.
I don't want to protect.
No,
but
you're right. I agree, and the good thing about you is that you see things before they happen. So you are busy, and you're gonna get busier. So you do need to protect
Yeah.
that time that you have that's limited. And I'm going to talk about myself here, but I agree with you because, bro, fuck, I had a lymphatic drainage massage this morning before I saw you, and I got out of there like 14 missed calls.
Yeah. And how many of them are?
See, that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
I called back my wife, and then I spoke to my dad, and then I called back my brother-in-law. I think I called my sister. 4. And the rest of them were like bang, 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 delegate.
Yeah.
Because like there's only 24 hours a day, man. Fuck.
And that's why that's when we started the advisory. And
Yeah.
I know it comes from a good place.
Yeah.
But it comes from the position of saying, I want to help you, but
Yeah.
I have to be able to charge for it.
I need to be able to help you, and the only way I can do that long term is to charge for it.
Yeah, because I got to take my attention away from here, and then I'm
Yeah.
going to put my attention in there,
Yeah.
and then I can be an open book. And then
Yeah.
there is nothing better for both of us than when we're sitting in front of someone and we're saying, like, you've got my attention. Like,
Yeah,
where are you
I'm
at?
here.
Let's do it.
'Yeah.
Because it feels like you're valued, and it feels
100%.
like, you know what, like we can really get somewhere and help this person take that next step.
bro. And the people that like people know how much I know you're like this, and you know that I'm pretty well like this anyway. People call me all the time, and they ask me for help. And I think I was telling you this last time as well. I struggle to say no.
Yeah.
I can't say no. Like I want to help everyone, from the smallest problem to the biggest problem. I want to, if I can. Sometimes I can't help, and that's okay. But I want to at least try and give it a crack. So I think people know how much we help for free. Like we never ask for anything.
But how do you say no to that? Like if let me give you some questions as an example.
Yeah.
Hey Johnny, I'm just going to go buy this house. Can you quickly have a look at?
Yeah, quickly have a look. You're going to buy a house. You're going to go spend $1 million and you want me to quickly have a look. This happened to me yesterday. Like, I'm going to have a look at this property. What do you think? Can you see the zones for me and what you can build and blah, blah, blah. And then, like, fuck, man, just for me to call my architect without even doing it myself, just to fucking, it takes me an hour that I don't have. Like,
100%.
and that's just without me doing it. It's with me delegating it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And this is why I say this all the time. This is what AI is here, because AI is going to do all that nitty gritty shit for us. But the reality is, we've been through the trenches, like,
Yeah.
and we're always happy to help people that are happy to ask for help. But you know, in our journey as well, there's going to come a time, which is now, where we need to be able to help you and give you our full undivided attention.
Yeah.
But also not sacrifice what we have done.
Yeah, of
what
course.
we've built. And
Because it gets undervalued.
Yeah.
You can get, like, even in like sometimes internally,
yeah,
someone I might say, like, I think everyone understands at the base level that we understand. Like,
Yeah,
How do you buy?
correct.
How do you understand how much the property's worth? Oh well, you just go on the internet and find a
Yeah.
comparable property, and then you do like you
Yeah.
just think it's base understanding,
Yeah.
but it's not.
no,
And
not at all.
And it's not like your level of emotional intelligence or your level of this, your level of that. These are all things that we've been speaking about your experiences this whole time, all your experiences, conversations with your dad, conversations at the dinner table, being at the fruit market, interacting with people, trying to negotiate how to sell things, understanding price increases. All these things create this Johnny Al-Halabi that we know today.
Value proposition.
And that value proposition is, where we're at. And sometimes you see that as your reality. When you're a kid, you're at your house and your parents do things one way at home, and you think everyone does that.
100%.
Then you go visit your Aussie friend,
Yeah.
and he's like,
Different.
he's going, "Oh, shut up, Karen," and you're going, "What the hell is this? I didn't know this is how people." And you realize that, okay, not every
Bang.
house is like this.
Open up your mind.
Yeah, when I did service work, I was doing electrical sales and stuff, 5 to 6 properties a day, anywhere from all over Melbourne, Victoria, really, everywhere. And every single house I went to, I was just like, what? Like 99% of families are not like mine.
like us, yeah.
And you start to understand that everyone's experiences are different. And then as you start to monetize your experiences, you have to realize that your value proposition, you need to know what it is. And you need to not say, I can't call the broker and go, hey, Mr. Broker, just give me your contact at NAB so I can go direct.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah, no,
hey,
you
bro,
can't.
who's your tiler? Who's your
Yeah,
caulker? Who's your
yeah,
painter?
yeah.
Ask, like my painters and stuff, like you build a relationship with them. You pay their invoice on time over a 10-year period, and you vet their work, and you build them to say, have an understanding, and you work together. I'm not just giving you that.
Nah. And see, that attitude that you have is that attitude that I wish all people had, where just put a bit of value to what you can offer. Don't sit in your shell because there's a lot of people out there, man, that they are good at what they do, but they're just scared to take the next step. They're scared to, like, what can go wrong? Nothing's going to go wrong. Take the fucking next step.
Yeah.
And for us, even with this advisory that we've started, there's a lot of people that, like, I know in my journey, and I think I've told you about a lot of them, but like, for example, I'll help someone buy a property there was a development that I helped someone buy a few years back. It had a few little issues that I knew how to fix. And so I showed this person, I said, honestly, you should buy this. I'd buy it if I could, but I can't, but you should buy it. And, why is it so cheap? Well, look, this is the issue. Keep it to yourself, but this is what's going to happen. And then this is what, blah, blah, blah. Sure enough, they bought it. They paid literally, Jesse, 50% discount. It was worth about 1.1. They paid 500 grand for it. And anyway, they turned it into, $1.5, $2 million profit in 18 months. I didn't ask for anything, and this person was actually from what I heard anyway, was not happy with the way I conducted myself. I'm like, brother, I've given you $500,000. I can piss on you if I want to fuck off. Like,
But that's people don't think that.
don't
though.
call me and say that, or call someone and say that you're not happy with how. Call me if you're a man and say what you're not happy with. Oh, Johnny didn't tell me that there was sewage connection that cost me 20. Well, fucking take the 20 out of the 500 that I saved, you dumb cunt.
Yeah.
And just shut up and move on. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's perspective. You've got
But
to
people
be.
don't realize how little people make on developments.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
They think everyone thinks I get this perception that people,
entitled.
you make $500,000 $1 million a build. It doesn't
yeah,
work like
it
that.
doesn't work that way, man.
And you know, we've spoken to clients.
Yeah.
And we say, hey, what do you earn a year? 200,000. What do you make off what do you want to make off the development? 500,000. And it's
How?
like,
How does that work?
how does that work? So if you made $100,000, which is half of your property, half of your yearly income,
Yeah.
on something that you went to uni for and everything, that you made
Yeah.
100 grand.
Yeah.
That,
That's amazing. And you've done nothing.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But they're not there for that.
No,
And-
they're
and-
not there for that.
And that's where,
No.
like, you know, we've got to be able to, you know, hedge people's understanding, but at the
Correct.
same time, make them realize that, yeah, like, there's so many layers to buying property, and there's so many layers to buying property now.
Yeah, correct.
Like,
Spot on.
especially now, building,
100%.
navigating all the building issues, navigating the taxes, the expenses.
Mm.
People, how much did you sell your house for? 1.8. What did you make? Oh, around 300.
Mm.
Oh, so you paid 800. You spent 700 on the build. Yeah. So I made. Hold on. What about holding costs? What about
Mm. Yeah,
sales fees?
yeah.
What about solicitor fees?
Yes.
When you went
Yeah.
to the petrol station to put $2 in the generator, did you cut that?
Correct. 100%. No one cancel that.
No one counts all that.
Mm.
So they have this perception of property, you know, property wealth. But when you do it properly, you realize like how it's a fine art, and it comes
100%
down
it's a fine
to
art.
buying the asset, number one,
Yeah.
and it comes down to understanding the risks,
Yeah.
contracts.
Correct.
We've spoken before about buying on a DD,
Mm.
what, you know, pre-purchase inspections, and what does that actually mean? The building inspector said the handles are broken, so we're fine. Like that,
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
like
Yeah, the building inspector's trying to justify his $1,000 that he charged you, but
buildings-
you know what I mean. Like, I think the way I see it, it's value proposition. Like, I went with a client to an auction about 3 months ago. He was willing to pay 1.35. He was willing to pay 1.35. Comparables were at 1.6. I went and I said, just don't talk to me. You don't know me. I went in. I bought the property at auction, passed into me, and then I went inside. Deceased estate, 5 kids. They're splitting it. Like, I did the maths in my head and the motion in my head. That's all experience. And then I offered them 170. Bought the property. That was only like 4 months ago. Bought it 170. Settled 3 months later. Bank fails about 1.6. We used that 400 and something in equity to go straight into his permit now. So this guy now went from maybe capitalizing on 400 grand profit to, well, at the start he hired me, and then I went with him to the auction, saved him that 200 grand, maybe capitalized on 400, turned that into now a full-fledged fucking development, and they're going to come out with like, you know, 1.2 million bucks in or
100%.
whatever. So those stories happen, but they don't happen by accident.
And there's also the other way on my end where it's like, I've got a $3.8 million paid off home,
Yeah.
but, you know, like, I don't know, what am I going to do? We want to invest, you know, we've got this and we've got that. My wife's not working. Okay. Buy a house for $2 million in a beautiful area, renovated, turnkey, unlock some equity, make some decisions around, like, there's the emotional aspect, and then there's the financial aspect. And then some people that you just got to balance the both of them. You've got to
Yeah.
understand what you're getting yourself into. You've got to understand your strengths. You've got to rely on people that know, and then you make informed decisions.
Yeah.
At least you know you're not gonna die wondering. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
You can trust. You can trust that
100%.
you've turned every stone and you've given yourself the best chance to be successful.
Yeah, you've given it everything. 100%. I agree.
All right, Jonathan.
Well done, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming in today. I love
I love you, man.
talking to you.
I love talking to you.
We talk a lot of rubbish, but I
We
think that time
do.
we hopefully made a little bit of sense. We'll see. I'm not going to watch it back, but if anyone tells me we didn't make sense, I'm just going to say most likely.
Yeah, that's normal.
AI. It was AI, bro.
It was all AI.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, bro.